Today I'm going to do an analysis on my Monster Brawl world record speedrun. First up, we start off with 3 good options for our starting weapon. Speeding arrows is the obvious choice here as it's crucial for the endgame, and although the options are pretty good, they don't really compare to the arrows at this stage. The only good option right now is the acorn, so that's what I went with. The acorns aren't as solid as the arrows, but they tell you where the enemies are, and they're pretty critical for endgame, so that's what I went with. Here, both eggs and pizza are fairly good weapons. We don't talk about the bees. In this situation, I went with the eggs as pizza is more of a defensive weapon, and eggs are more offensive, which is what I needed for the speedrun. Here, upgrading the eggs were a pretty bad idea, as the arrows needed to be prioritized early game. If I'm not lucky, I won't be able to get the fire rate upgrade for the arrows, which will really slow me down. It also took a while to choose which one I wanted, which added some fairly unnecessary time. Here I chose the best option, which was bananas. Feathers do not do nearly enough damage to justify them, and the slime is just way too unpredictable. They bounce everywhere. Bananas aren't the best for damage output, but they fire in a set path, and it's more of a defensive weapon, which could be pretty useful for endgame, so that's what I went with. Out of all the 3 options, I accidentally chose the slime because it looked like the green lasers. Either of the other options would have worked perfectly fine, but the slime was not the best choice here. Here I'm using a brand new technique I discovered the day before the run started. I'm calling the technique Epsilon. It allows you to shoot in any direction, regardless of which way you're moving. I wanted to show it off here, but it's fairly hard to use in an actual run, so I'll need a fair bit of practice before I can use it efficiently. Again, I probably should have picked the horseshoes here. The bones were not the best decision I could have made, but they are alright. You can see here I'm saving the magnet for later, as sometimes it can be used to sip a good portion of the endgame. Here I f***ed up bad. You can see the lasers right there. I chose dark energy in that split second, and it was too late once I clicked it. Here you can see the big boy over here. I'm using my acorns to kill it while I have the arrows fight off the horde above it. I did the same thing I did with the big crab by having my acorns deal with the donk and my arrows dealing with the horde. This time I also let my arrows kill the donk as well just to get it done faster, because it would help a lot more. Also, you can just see 5 pieces of cheese sitting there, which I'm saving for later because it will be needed in the apocalypse. The main goal is to kill Dwayne the Stone Johnson over there. The stone was blocking my mobility a lot, so I had to get rid of it quickly. It took so long to kill the stone that the big Yeti already spawned, which is not good. But now the enemies are rock monsters, which are pretty good, since the normal gen count for killing an enemy goes from 1 to 3, making levels so much easier to get. Here I had to kill all the rocks before I went for the Yetis, as rocks are a great deal easier to kill, and they drop the same amount of gems, which is a win-win. And here I freaked out when I ran into the Yeti, but I got out of there fine. We're good.